Today on the table I have the Beretta PX4 Storm and the Walther PPS M2. Now this is actually a used firearm. If it was brand new, the price split between these two would be $157. The Beretta would be more. But because this is used, it's actually about $100 cheaper than the PPS M2. And you should never, thumb your nose at the used rack because there are some deals to be had. For example, this one is pretty much set up like the PX4 Storm Carry, aside from the color change. You got very nice night sights, your shaved down decocker, your extended mag release. It's set up pretty good. And if you were to buy the Carry, it's exponentially more than the Walther. I think it's almost double the price. Now the Walther is brand new. So the Walther, you're going to get two magazines. You're going to get this was 7, which sticks out a little bit, and then you're going to get a flush 6. The Beretta, this is used. There's some stuff missing. Normally this is supposed to come with 2 magazines. This only has 1 magazine. Length, the Beretta is slightly longer. Not by much, though. Height without the magazine, yeah, the Beretta is quite a bit taller. But I mean, you're getting quite a bit more capacity. If you were to have your flush mount in here, which will give you 6, this gives you 15. That's over double the capacity. So for just this little bit more real estate, you can double your capacity. Now the Walther is quite a bit skinnier. Now the Walther, you can get an LE version. There's actually 2 versions, and you need to be aware of this. I didn't realize it was 2 versions until a customer had ordered one and sent it in. The cheaper LE version, it says night sights, but it's not your tritium night sights like the Beretta. All they did is they dripped some glow-in-the-dark paint in over these white sights. So you're paying like $50 more for glow-in-the-dark paint and an extra magazine. Is that really worth it to you? That's a decision you would have to make, but to me, no, it's not. Now there's the LE version that's $75 more than this version, where you actually get tritium night sights and then the extra magazine. So now you're looking at $75, so you get 3 magazines instead of 2, and you get tritium night sights. I don't know if that's worth it. I'd almost buy the normal PPS M2 and then put on the sights you want, because then if you go with the LE version, you're stuck with the night sights they decided to go with. Trigger brake. PPS, not bad. Here's a reset. It's pretty long. Some take up, some creep, and then your brake again. Beretta. Beautiful single action brake. Your double action brake, also very nice. Here's a reset. Nice and short, a little bit of take up, and then a snap, very little creep. There are some double single actions where the trigger, it's kind of a letdown. You're like, well, I might as well go to a striker fire at that point because that trigger sucks. This is not one of them. This is a very nice double single action trigger. This trigger is far superior to the PPS's trigger in every way. Without a doubt, this holds the edge. Now, the Walther is a striker fire. And the Beretta is a double single, obviously. A lot of the advantages of the double single is options. So you can either just pull a trigger with the hammer cocked, and you get a very crisp trigger brake. Now, I do believe this has some sort of modified trigger pack in there, because this trigger brake's really, really good. Or you can have the hammer back, decock it, and then you have a nice long trigger brake. Another real advantage with a double single is when you're holstering it, you can put your finger over the hammer, and then there's no possible way that your clothing could hook this and have a discharge. The Walther, you don't get the options of the trigger, but this does have a rod that pokes out the back when the trigger's being pulled. So you can still put your thumb over the probably part of the firing pin, but it's pretty skinny. So if you're not pushing down really hard, you could still pull the trigger. You push down really hard though, and you can't. So that does give you the option to put your finger over it, so it'll at least let you know if the trigger's being pulled when you holster it, which is kind of cool. Breakdown on both firearms is very similar. Walther, eject the magazine, dry fire it, and then you have 2 tabs, one on each side. Slide comes off. Same with the Beretta. 2 tabs on both sides. Your slide comes off. Now the Beretta doesn't use your standard pistol delay system. What this does is the barrel locks down and it delays it enough so the bullet can be out of the barrel before this stuff happens, so the casing doesn't explode inside when the slide comes back, because it allows the pressure to reduce. The Beretta, the barrel rotates, and then inside you have these extra parts. It fits on like that, and that's how the barrel rotates. Myself, I don't like that. I'm a big fan of less is more. The less moving parts, the less chance of having a part fail, the more reliable I should see a particular machine work. Less is always more when it comes to moving parts. I would much rather have the locking system. Controls, from your normal shooting position, mag release on the Walther, very doable. Slide release, doable too. It's shaved down though, so it's a bit tricky. Beretta, slide release, very doable. Decocker, I can do it, but it's a stretch. Mag, it's tough. And this even looks like it has the extended mag release on it. I kind of wish it was back just a little bit farther so my little short sausage fingers wouldn't have a problem reaching it. But other than that, both the controls, they're pretty good. The Beretta does have an accessory rail, so you could put on a tack light if you want. The Walther does not. The overall styling of the firearm, I'm not that big of a fan of the Walther. I do like the white accents. I think that looks pretty cool. But it doesn't look that bad. The Beretta, on the other hand, I don't know. If I was on a farm and I had a calf that was born that looked like this, I would totally put it down. I'd be like, there's something wrong with that thing. I don't like the styling on the Beretta at all. I think it's butt ugly. The Walther, when the slide's back, you have a nice big port. Definitely help you clear malfunctions. The Beretta, I don't know how to describe it. It's almost kind of like a Bursa port or a CZ75. It's real short, very narrow. Clearing malfunctions is going to be a job. Look at how much more room you have with the Walther. So, out of these two firearms, which one would I pick? Now, I think these are both great firearms. I think that no matter what you pick, you're going to be well served as long as you put it in the proper role. For me, the Beretta is just too big for concealed carry. Oh, I can most definitely do it, but it would be uncomfortable. And if it's uncomfortable, I'm probably not going to carry it, which means I'm probably going to leave it at home, which probably means that this would be a terrible firearm to carry. The Walther, I could carry this. It is small enough, especially with the flush mount magazine, which would make it look more like that. Light enough, skinny enough, and there's not a lot of sharp surfaces to where this would be pretty comfortable to carry. So if I'm looking for a carry gun, I would go with the Walther. This just wouldn't work well. It's got all types of sharp surfaces. It's fatter. It's heavier. It's just not something I would look forward to carrying. Now, as a tack vest gun, or, just an outside the waistband holster gun, this would most definitely be my pick. One, it's a double single, and I'm a fan of double singles. I love the advantages you get with the different trigger pulls. I just like double singles. Whereas a tack vest gun, this would work out okay. It's got the capacity. I mean, 15 plus 1, you can't really go wrong with that. I think it would perform that job very well. I think it would definitely be better as than the Walther as like an outside the waistband holster or a tack vest gun. Trying to carry it though, like concealed carry, without a doubt, I think the Walther has the edge. So for me, tack vest, like some sort of visible carry, without a doubt, I would pick the Beretta. Concealed carry, without a doubt, I would pick the Walther. Anyway, I'll put a link in the description down below too, where you can get like good night sights for the Walther. Something more like this, where they have different colored dots and really easy to pick up in the front. And that will be affiliate links, so if you do purchase those night sights, I do get a little kickback for it. If you'd like to check out any of my other videos, you can click on the links up here. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can also click on my Patreon. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.